If you haven't had an opportunity to watch Insidious Chapter 3, stop listening now, major spoilers, here we go. Today's June 5th, 2015. I watched the movie at 9:30 last night, and I'm still up, man. It's 3:44 a.m., and I'm not going to be able to go to sleep until the sun comes up, because this one was really scary, man. I liked it. 8 out of 10 stars, man. Here we go. This is a prequel to Insidious and Insidious Chapter 2. We are back with Elise Rainier, and then we get to see some people that we know and are familiar with prior to them becoming who they are in Insidious and Insidious Chapter 2. You're going to enjoy this movie if you're a fan of the franchise. If you're not a fan of the franchise, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. But I think that if you like the Insidious franchise, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, you'll definitely get a kick out of this one because there's a lot of familiar stuff. So, Elise is at the end of her career. She doesn't want to go on with the psychic thing anymore because her husband has committed suicide. And she's just trying to live, I guess you can say, a normal retired life. All of a sudden, she gets a knock on her door from this girl named Quinn Brenner. And Quinn is asking her to help her speak to her mother. Her mother committed suicide, and so now Sean Brenner, who is Quinn's father, and Alex Brenner, who is Quinn's brother, are left all alone, and they're trying to deal and cope with the loss of their mother. Quinn is the mother of the family now. Sean, her father, is just trying to pay bills, not really paying attention, doesn't know how to deal with anything, still suffering from the loss of his wife. Alex Brenner, all he wants to do is sleep, doesn't want to get up on time. He's just a young kid, and he's dealing with it in his own way, too. He's actually dealing with it by watching paranormal activity videos on YouTube and going to all these sites for the, paranormal and stuff like that. And it's kind of creepy, but that's how they're dealing with it. Each one of these characters inside of this movie, they are developed, and you get to know them personally. You get to see what makes them tick. Is the writing, 100%? No. Are there some really cheesy moments? Absolutely. Are there moments that are like cringeworthy that says, damn, they should not have placed that in the movie? Why didn't the editing team catch that? Yes. But this is a PG-13 movie. They're trying to, continue on with the franchise and give it something fresh, so you kind of forgive it. And that's why I give it the rating of 8 out of 10 stars. But I love how at least they're attempting to give the characters development, and they didn't just go ahead and say, well, let's just go with Insidious Chapter 3 and give them whatever. They're going to come watch and eat up anyway. They actually develop these characters, and it's really, really refreshing. So Quinn dealing with the death of her mother and trying to, start a new life and, do something, better with her life and move on. She applies to this, theater of fine arts or whatever, and she has this interview. But prior to going to the interview, she arrives at Elise Rainier's house, and she's trying to get her to use her psychic ability to have her mother show up to her performance and get some questions, get some closure, and, just kind of be closer to her mother and talk with her mother. Elise explains to her that, I'm tired, Quinn. I need to, rest. I don't want to do this. But Quinn pretty much just, looks really, really sad, and she can kind of relate to her a little bit because her husband, had just committed suicide. So she said, come on in. She turns the lights off. She starts talking, in her ghost talk. And it's terrifying, man, because someone else was listening. Some other monster, demon, entity came through the channel when she was doing her psychic thing. So she gives a warning to Quinn. She says, whenever you're talking to the dead, and you're talking to your loved one who is dead, you're not just talking to them. Every single dead person, every one of them can hear you. So the channel is open to whoever and whomever is listening and whoever accepts the call, man. It's one of those moments, man, where they didn't have to do anything, but they scared the hell out of me and the audience, because everybody in the audience is reacting like, what the hell? And gasping, and it's crazy because, they made sure that you knew that. And what was interesting is that there's one character that you'll notice from Insidious and Insidious Chapter 2, and I'll give this one away. It's the old lady that has, the widow. I guess we can call her a widow because she has black funeral stuff on, and I always call her the widow lady. I don't know if that's her or not, but that's what we're going with. That's what we're going to call her with. So that lady threatens to kill Elise, man. She says, Elise says to the audience, to us, and she says to Quinn as she's explaining it, that the lady always, you know, you can hear her saying, I'll kill you, I'll kill you, I'll kill you. I'm going to kill you, and this will be the death of me. That's one of the reasons why she actually, you know, retired. Anyway, long story short, man, Quinn doesn't listen to Elise. She goes home and she starts talking to the dead. Well, one of those dead things actually answers the call, and they start playing games with her. We come to find out that it's this old, wrinkly, old man who can't breathe, who has a breathing mask. And it's actually, if you look on the on the IMDb, it says the man who can't breathe. That's who's haunting the girl named Quinn. That's who's haunted. The man who can't breathe. It's one of those scenes, man, where it just freaks you out because, like, she knocks on the door, her friend's not home, she knocks again, texts her friend and says, did I wake you up or whatever? He's like, no, you didn't wake me up. I'm at grandma's house. Then all of a sudden, like, yeah, we start to see that something's not right with this whole entire situation, man. We come to find out that there was like a accident inside of the apartment building, the complex. The man who can't breathe died inside of there, and he's the one that's keeping all of the tenants from, I guess, let's say floors 4, 5, and maybe 6. Let's go 6 too, but I'd say mostly just floor number 5 and 4. He's kind of haunting them, but keeping everybody on floor 5 locked up, and he won't let them, I guess, go to the light, if you will. He's sucking all the energy out of Quinn, man, and the way that he does this, whenever she goes home and she says, you know, hi, Mom, are you there? I just want to talk to you. And then the next day, she, you know, after she knocks, the next day she goes to her theater arts performance, and she sees this guy waving. And if you ever watched It Follows, man, you understand. Like, I was freaked out because it seemed like that exact same scene. You saw the guy waving. At first, I said, okay, that's probably a guy from the theater performance, you know, arts school or whatever. He's just maybe a set guy or something. He's going to probably put a prop up or something. And all of a sudden, the only thing that's different is that the guy that's waving, you can barely see him. He's in black. He's in the shadows. And there's just a little bit of light on him, but you can't really make out who he is. So she looks at the guy. She looks around and she looks like, are you waving at me? She looks back to see if there's somebody behind her. She looks back over where the guy was at. The dude's not there. Okay, he's gone. So anyway, she goes and she bombs the performance. Her mother is not there. She said a little prayer, but her mother's not there. She can't feel her presence. She goes outside. She's talking to her friend. All of a sudden, man, you know, her friend's like, let's get out of here or whatever. She looks to her right as she's crossing the street, and there's a guy in the middle of the road that has like, I don't know, like an old hospital gown on, if you will. And he's waving at her. And all of a sudden, like, the camera, like, looks at the dude, looks at her, and then bam, all of a sudden, like, she gets hit by a car, man. Legs gone, okay? Straight up put her inside of a cast, man. So she has 2 casts on her legs. She's locked up at home. She's still trying to communicate with her mother. She's not listening, okay? Well, we get introduced, man, to these neighbors and people that live inside the building that interact with Quinn, and I love the character development inside here and the interactions between characters, man. There's an old lady and a man, a black man and an old black lady, and she's saying some of this like senile stuff. Okay, she has a walker. She's kind of old. Looks like she's probably dying. The old man is just kind of like, you know, walking her along and making sure that she doesn't hurt herself and just being a good husband. She is sitting down inside of the main entrance, if you will, and Quinn gets rolled up there by her dad while her dad goes to check the mail or some crap. The old lady says, there's a guy upstairs in your room, the man who can't breathe, or something like that. She says, the man who can't breathe is inside of your room right now. He's been waiting for you to come back home for a while, and he's not going to stop until he's not gonna stop until he gets his hands on you or something like that. Freaks you out, man, because now you have to go upstairs through the elevator. You got to go upstairs. All of a sudden, you have to wait until you get to her room because eventually she's gonna get to her room. Well, the door is cracked. She looks down the hallway, And you know there's somebody in there. Anyway, man, long story short, her dad gets her these bells and a couple of gifts and stuff to kind of keep her company. There's a bell that she can ring if she's hungry, if she needs to go to the bathroom, stuff like that. Anyway, she's laying in bed. She decides to go to sleep. She starts thinking about what the old lady was saying, so she puts a pillow over her head. As soon as she puts the pillow over her head, the bell that her dad left on her bedside table starts to ring, okay? Ring, 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 real quick, just real quick, a little bell, you know, chimes. She gets up, she looks around, there's nobody there. She puts her head underneath the second pillow, throws the other pillow on the side of her, and then tries to roll over to where she's not looking, you know, just kind of like away. She rolls over, and you're thinking, okay, like something's gonna happen, man. You don't see anything yet, but if you look in the back of the screen, there's a dude standing inside of her curtains, man. And it freaks me the hell out, man. I start screaming, man. It's like, what the hell is going on, man? Anyway, the dude inside of the curtain starts walking forward. And you don't know what the hell's going on because, like, this girl, she has her eyes closed. She's not paying attention. She's not doing anything. And then she starts noticing, you know, who it is, scares them. And then she ends up, she ends up, you know, kind of closing her eyes or whatever, trying to stay away. Two hands from above the ceiling grab her and throw her on the floor. It's just some crazy stuff that's going on, man. And this doesn't happen like in order the way I'm telling you, but this is all the things that happen to her, okay? So she gets thrown on the floor. The creature that is you know, that's the man who can't breathe, who's there. He has this black stuff on his feet, man. So when she falls on the floor, she looks underneath the bed, you can see his feet, and he's walking with these footprints. Instead of walking to her, who's you know, she's now injured, Quinn is now on the floor injured, he actually starts shutting the windows so all the light escapes from the room. Then he goes and he shuts the door. And then, you know, Quinn is on her laptop. Let me back up a couple seconds. Quinn is on her laptop talking to her friend. This is what starts it. I just now remember this because everything's come back to me. Quinn's on the phone doing a Skype chat with her friend. Her friend says, is that Mike or is that Bobby or Ricky or whatever sitting next to you? Is that your other friend sitting next to you? And she's like, what are you talking about? There's nobody sitting next to me. And then she's like, what are you talking about? There's somebody right there. All of a sudden the connection on the Skype chat stops. It freezes like, you know, like Skype normally does. It freezes. And then she looks over, there's nobody there. Okay. But then after that, you know, when she looks up again, boom, she gets scared. The laptop falls on the floor. It's like a Mac or whatever, falls on the floor. And then after that, we see the dude closing up all the doors, the windows. And then he walks over. Instead of touching the girl on the ground who's injured, he actually shuts the laptop screen. So the laptop, which was open and had light coming off of it, gets shut down. And then she's still sitting there with her neck injured or whatever. And then after that, he just has his way with her, man. Like, he beats her up, scratches her, chokes her, puts arm prints on her, hand prints, everything, man. Like, it's crazy stuff that's going on. Anyway, her dad busts in the room. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. So long story short, her brother Alex, man, has this idea to kind of hire these paranormal activity guys. And then we find out that the Elise character is actually getting courage in order to go and come back and help Quinn. The reason why is because she's getting visits from the Bride in Black, and the Bride in Black is making her come back because she starts writing. She actually writes the name Quinn Brenner in her diary when she wakes up after one of these nightmares or whatever. And she goes back. She helps Quinn Brenner out. And long story short, man, it's really powerful how they showed you the end of the movie, man. You know, Elise actually fights her back, fights her dead husband. She does a lot of stuff, man, to show you how powerful her character is. I'm running out of time, guys. That's it. I'm going to try to come back with a part 2 and finish up some stuff because I don't want to rush through anything. But yeah, comment, like, subscribe, share this video. And if you did watch Insidious Chapter 3, let me know what you think. Right there.